We're here today to run you through the steps on how to pull apart and reassemble a Colony Swarm Freecoaster Hub. Okay, the first step will be to remove the plastic hub guards that come with each hub or wheel set. And each plastic hub guard just simply slide off, really easy. Next step will be to remove the drive side cone nut. You can use your 6mm Allen key in the axle to hold everything still. Get yourself a shifter and crack open that cone nut. Once you've got that off, then it's just a simple matter of grabbing the driver and gently pulling it out. While pulling out the driver, be careful not to upset or lose any of the pawls or springs. Now you'll notice here that the driver and inside the hub in general has very little grease. The idea of these hubs is they need to be run practically dry, so do not add any extra grease or lubricant other than what's in there. And if you are cleaning it up, really don't add any at all when you put it back together. This point about not adding lubricant is very critical. These hubs only work as a dry setup. Having any grease in there or too much grease will make the hub not work. Okay, now here you can see the clutch assembly. What we're going to have to do is gently tap with a hammer or a mallet the axle through from the drive side and out the other side. As you can see, it comes out quite easily. Just pull out the axle with the other cone nuts and bearings on it. Now here you can see inside the drive unit, again, very little to no grease is required. And here you see the very important clutch piece. We're going to take this apart next. What you want to do is this C-clip here, that needs to be unsprung and then gently taken off. Best way is use a very small flathead screwdriver as shown here. Take off that one side that's got the pointy side on it. Just unclip it up and it'll gently come off. When it does come off, make sure you don't lose it. Very critical. Next is to take off this silver washer here. It'll pop off really easy. Again, be careful not to lose it. Next, we're going to remove the center section. Gently with your thumbs, push through the clutch system and it will come out the other side. This next step here, you can see, we're going to disassemble the clutch piece. Now inside here, you can see a very specialist O-ring. We're going to pop this one out here now. Simply take that same small flathead screwdriver you've been using and just pry it out. This is a very critical part of the whole workings of the hub. These need to be kept dry with no lubricant or grease. And here's the pieces of the clutch system pulled apart. And here's the actual main part of it, which we won't pull apart any further. You can see the inner workings of it. Take note on this O-ring here, as I said before, it does have these special little flanges. They are designed to go intertwined into the actual clutch piece. When reinserting a new O-ring, make sure that the flanges are aligned with the clutch piece to go with each groove within the clutch piece. Simply pop it in with your thumbs and massage it around so that it is in there nice and snug and perfectly round. If need be, use the same flathead screwdriver to gently put it back into its place, taking ultra care not to damage or puncture the O-ring. Now we're going to assemble the clutch piece back into the back of side of it. It simply presses in. And then to check, just make sure that it's all assembled correctly so that the gears all spin. Next, we'll reassemble the center piece. Simply push it through with your thumbs. It might be a little bit tight, but that's just the O-ring applying pressure to it. Gently push it in there and it'll be a nice snug fit. Next, we put the silver washer back on and then get your C-clip starting at the non-pointy end and then massage it around into its groove. And now you have a fully assembled, refurbished clutch piece, taking note of all the cogs that are working together, which makes all the magic happen. The big difference between this and a cassette hub is that you'll notice that the pawls and springs are reverse wound. So they're constantly always down. So basically the hub is always acting as a free coaster until you pedal forward, and the clutch piece, as you can see here, pushes up the pawls. Again, take note here, no grease is needed. Do not add any extra lubricant. These hubs need to be run dry. Now to get it all back together, we take the axle assembly, push it through from the non-drive side, as you can see, slightly tap it in with a hammer or mallet to get your bearing in nice and tight. Then simply slide in the clutch piece, take note of the direction and way it goes. Spin it around here and you can see how it all spins around. Now we grab the driver. Again, be careful not to lose any pawls or springs. Simply slide it into place. Make sure it's spinning freely. Get your drive side cone nut, wind it down, One big thing of all these hubs is the cone nuts do need to be firm at all times. Don't run loose cones at any time. Again, you can use your 6mm Allen key in the axle to get those cone nuts nice and tight. Then simply slide on your hub guards, put your wheel nuts on, and away we go.